Good morning, greetings and salutations, peace and blessings. It's yours truly, Dan Adams, bringing you another edition of the Political Heat. I'm going to get right into it. I want to talk about Ebola very quickly. Just want to respond to the idiot left on how if we ban flights coming in from infected countries, that's racism. Really? How stupid does that sound? This is called survival. This is called stopping a possible pandemic in America. You idiots on the left thinking it's racist, please get a brain and use it. Secondly, I want to talk real quickly about Obama's ISIS campaign and what he's trying to do to defeat ISIS. And basically this air campaign that he is enthralled in is doing absolutely nothing. Nothing. And I'm going to let the esteemed Colonel Ralph Peters break it down for you. Until next time, peace.
Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters is our Fox News strategic analyst. And Ralph, we saw it happen in Fallujah, we saw it happen in Mosul, we saw it happen in Ramadi, and now we see the Islamic flag over the town of Kobani, which they say is a strategic and important location for these fighters. Tell us why.
Well, it's important symbolically and practically. It extends the caliphate, and the Islamic State caliphate, Megan, is real, and it's now, no matter what the president says. It extends it right up to the borders of Turkey, secures a vast stretch of northeastern Syria. It's symbolically important because the Kurds, it's an important Kurdish city, and the Kurds have been fighting hard to hold on to it. And it really is the battle for Syrian Kurdistan. So and symbolically, practically, it's very important. Senator McCain is right. There will be a massacre. They're still fighting in the streets. The Kurds haven't given up. They're fighting house to house and block to block. But our president, who launched this phony air campaign basically to absolve him of any blame, to get him through his party through the November elections. This air campaign has been paltry from the start. He warned them we're coming. He hit empty buildings in the dead of night, empty camps. We're sending in jet fighters with low-yield precision munitions, basically guided hand grenades, to blow up individual pickup trucks. To kill 3 terrorists here, 4 there. Outside Kobani, where the terrorists from Islamic State were out in the open en masse with their vehicles, their persons, it was the perfect target for serious air power. B-52s doing area saturation bombing. But this president will not do it. He doesn't want casualties, not only civilian casualties, he doesn't even want a lot of dead terrorists. This is all a fraud, and those people in Kobani, among so many others, are going to pay a tragic price for a president's outright cowardice.
What are we going to do now, Ralph? I mean, obviously you're critical of the president. He has gotten involved in this via airstrike, which is something many did not want him to do. But what are we going to do now? Are we going to let this city fall? I mean, you've got John McCain warning of a mass slaughter of 50,000 innocents in this city, which people haven't been paying. Most people have never heard of Kobani before, but the experts like you and Senator McCain are telling us we need to worry. This is going to complete part of the main caliphate that they're after. And if the airstrikes are not going to protect this town, and already we see the black flags flying, what next?
Well, the time to hit them with air power, hit them hard, was before they got into the city when they were out in the open. Now we can't very well carpet bomb the city. I mean, it's one travesty after another. President Obama doesn't act to prevent tragedy. He reacts to tragedy. He reacts weakly. He mourns and does a little bit. But this tragedy, Megan, it's going to repeat itself again and again and again, because we are not at war with ISIS or Islamic State. They're at war with us, but we're just making this fraudulent pretend effort that we're doing something. And by the way, our much touted allies in the Persian Gulf are doing far, far less. And the Turks, as they sit on the border and watch this slaughter unfold, President Erdogan, formerly Prime Minister Erdogan of Turkey, is playing a double game with us. We're acting as though we're the weak ones. We're not the superpower. And what he is doing is he is letting Islamic State militants slaughter Kurds. And then when the Kurds are slaughtered, then he may act against Islamic State because he wants an Islamist government in Damascus. He just doesn't want Islamic State. He wants his extremists in Damascus.
What does this do to the propaganda that ISIS offers out there? That, the U.S. comes in, and according to our own allies on the ground, the airstrikes are not doing enough. They're not doing much, according to some. What does this do to ISIS and its recruiting efforts?
Megan, you just asked a crucial question that nobody else is asking. And the answer is, it's a huge recruiting tool because it allows Islamic State, the caliphate, to say, see, the Americans said they were going to destroy us. We're still standing. We're still advancing. We can stand up to America. And along with those beheading videos, which may horrify us, but they're catnip to all the young dudes in the Middle East who are radicalized or discontented, etc. Islamic State is a magnetic force for all the malcontents in the Islamic world, and we are strengthening them by our shows, our displays of weakness. And oh, by the way, far from degrading and destroying ISIS, as the president promised to do, ISIS is advancing on Baghdad. They're advancing in Kobani. They're gaining more recruits, slaughtering more people, gaining more territory, and we look and are indeed feckless, ineffective, and cowardly.
I mean, cowardly, Ralph, is something. Obviously, you're not referring to the troops.
No, of course not.
Instead, the strategy. But and the president's taken that from many corners now, including some serious blowback from his own former defense secretary, which we're going to get into in a minute. Ralph, good to see you.
Thank you, Megan.
Who says he's more of a law professor than a leader.